Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Early morning. What are we looking at? 2:12 a.m. to be exact. I know you're thinking, brother, what are you doing awake so early? Couldn't sleep. Call it insomnia. Call it whatever. How do you like my new drinking buddies, by the way? We got Jack Skellington over here and Davy Jones. I don't know. I guess we'll come up with names for them later. But you know, I wanted to get some Halloween stuff. Season's coming. Home Depot had these two guys for $100. I thought it would be great. I bought those and a little fog machine. Thought it might be kind of cool if we do decide to do trick-or-treaters this year. The kids are still young enough, we're still taking them out trick-or-treating, but eventually one day I thought it might be kind of cool to have trick-or-treaters come up to the door, have all the decorations, you know, that kind of thing. That being said, look guys, I've been jam-packed busy all weekend. I don't even feel like I actually had a day off, to be honest. I took a holiday on Friday. I did a lot of trips to the dump. I really did. Trying to clean up this garage a little bit, and I think I may have jumped the gun a little bit on the pegboard sheet that I did pick up, which is okay because that can be taken down. Maybe I'll reuse it, maybe I won't. I have not made the decision yet. I will tell you that I have been talking with Vince from VCG Construction. I've been talking with me again, Dave, about various drywall and cordless screw gun options out there. Let me just show you. Okay, so here's what's typically behind me. As of right now, I'm down to this little tiny pile of stuff to go through still. But over here to my right, you'll see I've got the drill press, my 22-gallon GM air compressor, my old Matco kind of service cart with the fridge sitting on it. Now the fridge, you guys know, I bought it for beer specifically and been having a little bit of a power situation. I need to have an electrician come out and run a different circuit breaker for this side. I'd also like to have a circuit breaker for over here. Now being over here, you'll see how this whole entire wall is. Well, this whole entire wall has been like this for years. And it actually was like that all the way down to the end here once upon a time ago. Right after shortly we first moved in, I hung up these sheets and kind of went around this work table that her father had made, which I thought he did a pretty dang good job considering these are some of his old woodworking tools here. Some files and stuff that he had. He drilled out holes for darts. This because he was a woodworker and did lots of artsy craftsy stuff. With woodworking, he made that into a wooden bench vise. Let me show you some of his artwork. There's my two dogs. They're like, what the hell are you doing awake, old man? Let me tell you something about labs in case you guys don't already know. They have some of the foulest gas in the entire world. Anyways, this is some of her dad's artwork that he made out of wood. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah. I don't know if I can open this cabinet or not. So you'll see down here, he has made this Ferris wheel, one of those little gazebos. He made this lighthouse out of toothpicks and popsicle sticks. He's made little tiny jewelry boxes like this, little hutches. He's made like little cigarette lighter holders, little thing for cigarettes, ashtrays, porch swing. Very, very creative man when it came to woodworking. I don't know if you could see this over here, a little water well. Alright, so anyways, kind of getting back on topic here. There was nothing here, no insulation, no nothing. So in the winter time, which is coming, it gets especially cold in here. And I really started to rethink this as I'm going through this garage. And I'm like, you know, the pegboard is definitely a nice I really enjoy having pegboard. If you can see, I got some of my stuff right now hung up from the pegboard. Let me just show you here. So anywhere from subscribers' license plates to my bow and arrow, I've got stuff for a snake for the swamp cooler, pipe cleaners. I've got my blades up here, different types of cutting blades for my circular saw. I got my speed squares and masking tape, my assortment of ratchets that I put here, some C-clamps, the two different styles of hammers that I have, and I'll talk about hammers later and what it is that I look for in a hammer. These are actually really, really cool. I believe Mr. Jeff Kennedy made those and had them mailed out to me a while back, so that was pretty awesome. I've got some abrasive grinding discs and cut-off wheel discs here, my blowgun, Route 66 sign. So you can see I've very much made this whole entire wall kind of like work for me. You can see where I had to adapt a little tiny piece to make it work, and how that did not work out so well going around pipes and whatnot. And then of course down here I've got some other, I got like my crown stapler, my Ryobi orbital sander. I've got some painting stuff down in here. This rigid box has some framing stuff that I like to try to keep separated. My ratchet tie-off straps, jack stands, gas can, etc. And then of course over here is my welder, the inline 6 engine that we're going to get back to at some point in my life. And then of course my little bench vise, oxyacetylene, etc. Up here at the top, I've got all my chainsaws, my contractor radio. This is the wife's setup. This is her little toolbox, her little husky box that she has. And then of course I've got my RC car, some other stuff here. So as I said, in the wintertime, being non-insulated, it gets very cold in here. In the summertime, it gets excruciating hot in here. I mean, it goes up at least another 20, 25 degrees in temperature in here just being in the garage in summertime. And I'm sitting here and I'll be sweating it at my little workstation here with you guys on the YouTube. And I got this new little Ryobi fan and I got this other fan. But fans just don't seem to help when it gets to be so hot. So one of the things that I really started to reconsider this evening, I was like, okay, you know, I was telling the wife, we're gonna take all this stuff to the dump. I know it's not a full trailer yet, but I wanna get it out of here. And then I think I'm really getting to that stopping point. And she's like, yeah, it's really looking great. And I started thinking about it, I was like, no, it could be a lot better. And as much as I'd hate to tear down the shelving, I think we can redo that better too. I've already been thinking about possibly getting a table saw, thinking about getting a drywall cordless screw gun, because now this all over here is all drywall. And then of course what you saw over here, which is all pegboard now, but there's no insulation behind it whatsoever. And then over here it's completely non-insulated and it's just framing. What I would like to do is have a heating and air conditioning unit just above the washer and dryer. So if I want it to be cooler in here, it'll be cooler. If I want it to be hotter, it'll be hotter. So I think that would be nice to incorporate. I know I'm really close to our hot water heater and gas lines and water lines and all kinds of stuff that we got going on. So I might have to come down a little bit. Might not be able to go directly above the wash and dry. I might have to make it a little further down, which means the shelving is going to be in the way unless I put it over here. But then the pegboard has to come down. And then because of the length of this garage, I think if I would have originally started with a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of pegboard from one end and came all the way down to the other end, it would have worked out in full sheets is what I was looking at, because I've got gaps. And I was like, man, I can make this so much better if I took my time. So maybe what I'll do is I'll start the process of tearing everything down. And I know the wife's gonna absolutely hate me for this. Tear everything down and start working in that insulation, get some drywall cuts going, go around everything that's already here. It's gonna be a little bit of a chore. The other thing that I kind of have working against me at the moment from all the laundry that you see is the kids have lice again, which is never fun, which means it's pretty much laundry day every day for the next 2 to 3 weeks until the lice are all gone. That's gotta be one of the hardest things as a parent, is when your kids start going to school. See, when I was going to school, there was lice checks, but nobody ever got it. And it just seems like the kids are starting to get it a lot more easy and more frequently now than I'd ever heard or seen before. I don't know if there's some kind of you know, pandemic lice outbreak or what, but it's just absolutely ridiculous. But at any rate, let me show you the tabletop again, some other things that I have going on my workbench and what makes it really difficult for me when I tear this down too. Alright, so another thing that I've actually enjoyed about having a workbench is like I've been able to mount my Streamlight flashlight here to the side, so if I need it I can grab it and use it. And I have this little outlet right here so I can plug in my various battery charging stations. The one thing I don't like about some of the stuff that I have is that it's in the way because it doesn't extend down very far. So I got to figure out something to do with the fridge. And again, if I get all this figured out, I can make this more functional than it already actually is. The Milwaukee abrasive saw has been freaking awesome. The one thing that I thought that might have been a better feature to get is if I wanted to cut at an angle, I could if I would have stepped it up to a different style of abrasive saw. But for what it is that I'm doing with metalworking, it works for me, so I have no complaints. The Craftsman socket set, from what you guys have seen, you know I've been using the hell out of these since I've bought them. They've been my go-to sockets at work. They're now an at-home DIY mechanics tool set. The Duralast set is no longer here or in my toolbox. I'm going to be giving it to my stepson, and I'll tell you why. So the other day, he's trying to figure out what's going on with his car. I told him it sounds like this battery might be dead and that he should pull it out and go have it checked down at like AutoZone or something like that. And he's like, yeah, except I don't have any tools. And he was able to get a hold of a pair of pliers that his girlfriend had. And I was like, your girlfriend has tools and you don't? Oh my God. So I'm gonna give him my old Duralast set since I now have the Craftsman here and I've made the Icon my full lineup at work. I want to show you guys what it is that I've recently done with my Cornwall toolbox here at the house because it's different, okay? Now that pretty much all of my automotive tools are at work for the most part, and I don't do a lot of working on cars here at the house for the exception of some minor stuff that I've done to our cars like transmission services, oil changes, tune-ups, maybe even pulling an intake every once in a while to get to certain spark plugs. I don't have a need to have all my specialty automotive tools here, but I have more of a need to have them at work, so as a result, they're all at work. I'm going to show you what a more realistic toolbox would look like to somebody that's a weekend warrior mechanic versus being a full-time professional mechanic. Let me just show you what I got going on. Alright, so here is my Cornwall Pro Series toolbox, which you've all have seen before, but I've changed a lot of things since I've been cleaning. So in my top drawer, what you'll see for a lineup, now I really have been trying to figure out how I'm going to set these up in the garage, and I just found that having them all lined up here in the top drawer just works out so well for me because now I know exactly where they are and I can come and grab them. Anywhere from my framing nailer, to my roofing nailer, to my impact gun, to my hex driver, to my drill, to my sawzall, to my flashlight, and my hearing protection, and I even got my blades down here. Now these are DeWalt for the most part, but I do have one El Diablo left in there. The other El Diablos are at work. My next drawer right here, now we're kind of keeping it back in the automotive part. See, I've got my Craftsman combination wrench set, pipe wrench, my oil filter wrench from Craftsman, one of my favorite pairs of scissors. These crescent wrenches or adjustable wrenches that I don't use very often that were from Cornwall. Here's that Harbor Freight plier rack with a mixture of Snap-on, Cornwall, Irwin, forget which company this is, Commercial Electric, Doyle, Mac, Doyle. My watch, wedding ring, got my screwdrivers here from the Matco set that the wife thoroughly enjoys. I got my set over here from the Craftsman, and I'm going to try to get her set up in a better box situation later, but for right now that little one works for her. Some precision screwdrivers, some Swisher Sweets, and this Craftsman hose cutter, which works out great. Oh, and a tape measure. This is my Husky tape measure. We're going to talk about why I chose some of the tape measures that I've chose a little bit later on too. Next drawer. Trying to figure out where I was going to put all these bits. I've got my Bosch bits here, the new Ryobi titanium drill bits that I picked up, my Forstner bits from Irwin. I had this old tin. I mailed off the stuff to somebody else. I can't remember who off the top of my head. I want to say it was Mike Hedge. But I actually put my diamond blades for my chainsaw wood carving blades in here, my extra ones that I have, and the sprocket that I need when I jump down to the actual diamond bar itself. I haven't done any woodworking in a little while. I think I want to get back into that. I've got my spade bits here from Bosch, my masonry bits from Bosch, and then I got my Empire veneer caliper, both my ant clamp and my regular DVOM from Klein. And then I got these firm grip gloves the other day when I needed to go to the dump. I forgot my gloves here at the house. These things are actually pretty comfortable, so kudos to firm grip. Next drawer, this is kind of like, this is what I have left here at the house for automotive that's probably going to go back to work, which is this stuff here. But for right now, I just kind of tossed it in. This drawer, I got the Allens for the motorcycle stuff, some masonry, spackle, dealios. I don't know what the proper term for that is. I didn't do a lot of masonry work. Heat shrink, extra hardware, 1/2-inch torque wrench, and then the half-sized impact sockets. Down in here, got my 1/2-inch Nico set for when I actually do need to step it up. My Ryobi glue gun, temp gun, glue sticks, and every one of you guys should have one of these. It's just got a lot of valuable information that you're going to want. And then, I forget what his name is. Jeremiah Stevens, I think. He was asking me if I still had the Matco banner. Yes, I do. I'm going to try to find a place to hang it up once I get this place cleaned up. Alright, next drawer. This is the snap-on scan tool. I don't use it much at work because it's out of date. My miscellaneous drawer, if you will, with all my sunglasses because I can never seem to find them all. And then down in here was the only place I could really think of at the time to put my rigid circular saw, my tire gauge, my framing nails, mechanics wire, and some staples, my crown staples. Alright guys, so look, that'll pretty much wrap it up for me today, or this evening. Just wanted to kind of give you a better idea of my shop layout, or my current garage layout. I will be, I don't really want to call it a series yet, but I will be doing a video, whether I do it in a couple of parts or I just make one super long video. I will be doing a video on what it is exactly that I'm planning on doing to it, or how I did certain things and what tools I picked up or purchased along the way for this garage remodel, if you will. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. What I'm not looking forward to is making a bigger mess because I just now got the garage clean, but it is something that needs to be done. I want it to be a lot more functional, not just for me, but also for the wife, and I do want it to. I do want to do it right the first time. You know, I've tried cutting corners in the past. It just would be nice to do it right and make it look real good. I know that she wants to utilize some more of the rafter space for storage, so I think that would be another thing that I'm going to be tackling too, is trying to put some boards up there and figure out how to create some kind of shelving for her up there so she can just stick stuff up there. But at any rate, I'll see you guys the next time. If you have any ideas on what it is that I can do to create better space in here, or what it is that I have already done that could be done differently to create more space, please put it down in the comments. That's all I got. We'll see you guys next time. Salut. Deuces.